Inside Grand Prix, fans brave the rain and the £400 price of admission with appearances from Stormzy and Brad Pitt that confirm the Silverstone weekend is that unmistakable rumble and the bitter waft of burnt rubber, which follows was soon replaced by a thumping beat, the kind that reverberates through your body. It did not come from the footsteps of thousands of Saudi Formula One fans, though the direction they were heading gave a clue as to the source of the racket. There up on the Silverstone main stage stood Stormzy, British rapping royalty, playing only his second gig of the year in weather that belied the calendar. It was another reminder that this weekend is about far more than just the racing. It needs to be too when tickets for this year's British Grand Prix start at an eye-watering £400. Those after a seat in the grandstand are forced to shell out a further £200 on top of that. Silverstone bosses have caught plenty of stick for those prices, not least from Lewis Hamilton, the seven-time world champion and darling of British Formula One racing. Hamilton may have a net worth of PS 300 million, but even he saw fit to describe those prices as hugely expensive. It isn't only the cost of a ticket, which leaves punters' wallets a little lighter. Just wait until you get inside this 208 outlets serving 90 different cuisines, from pala to pork pies. Sounds like a culinary treat. Those visiting on a budget, however, would be well advised to bring a packed lunch. Fancy a bacon roll to warm you up in the morning? That would be £8, please. And a coffee to go with it? That would be another £4.50. What about in the afternoon when you're craving a stronger tipple? Well, a pint of Heineken costs £7.70 and a whiskey and Coke £13.50. Fans feeling especially lavish can buy a bottle of bubbly for £122. And whatever happened to a 99 flake costing exactly that? You don't get much change out of a fiver for one at Silverstone. Male Sport had a particularly underwhelming experience at dinner on Thursday. £13 out of the bank account for a halloumi bowl, which contained around a quarter of a beef tomato, a baby-sized handful of shredded lettuce, and a few slices of cucumber. No chips either, as advertised on the menu. On finds of this 600-acre site, you better than there's deciding where you're going to put your head for the evening. For the 60,000 happy to brave the weather and camp, prices for a basic pitch on the nearby Silverstone Golf Club start at £150 and rise all the way to £850. Those who fancy a comfier night in the land of Nod will need to fork out between £950 and £1,900 to go glamping. That's posh camping for those unfamiliar with the craze. Have been saving up. A stay in the Hilton Garden Inn, which boasts prime viewing in the Hamilton Strait, costs just over £100 a night for most of the year. Those prices rise considerably, though, when the British Grand Prix is on. The hotel has been extended this year with the opening of Escapade, a luxury accommodation complex overlooking the circuit, which boasts a gym, pool, sauna, and spa. Trackside residences in these shipping, container-like buildings cost around PS 2 million, with owners then able to make a pretty fortune by renting them out over the weekend. £80,000 for the 4 days the Formula One circus rolls into town, if one report is to be believed. On the subject of the high life, there are 8 different hospitality packages to choose from, ranging from £975 to £2,745 per person on race day alone. For the top end, you can enjoy a prime view of the action while tucking into food cooked by Michelin star chefs. You want to come suitably dressed for the occasion too. One can assume the £65 Mercedes baseball caps won't be doing a roaring trade this weekend with the sun nowhere to be seen. The rich and famous will be out in force over the weekend too. Brad Pitt has been spotted in the VIP areas as filming continues for the new F1 movie he stars in, which is due to air next summer. Dart's teenage sensation Luke Littler was whisked around the track by Lando Norris before throwing some arrows with Max Verstappen. Last year's singer Shakira, model Cara Delevingne, and actor Damian Lewis all made a quick pit stop at Silverstone too. Take a stroll down the Silverstone paddock, and it's hard not to bump into a celebrity of some kind. It is, though, undeniably an expensive few days. A quick scroll of social media tells you there are plenty of fans for whom the cost of tickets alone has proved prohibitive. But for those lucky ones, all 480,000 of them, across the weekend, the big question is it worth it? The fans Male Sports spoke to were close to unequivocal. Absolutely yes. For them, 4 days of non-stop action on the track, plenty of opportunities for Q&A sessions with drivers past and present, gaming areas, and the live entertainment offering feels like value for money. Kings of Leon dazzled crowds on Thursday in a much more pleasant climate before DJ Pete Tong and a 52-piece orchestra take to the stage on Friday and pop act Rudimental on Sunday. It doesn't stop at the music either. There's also a comedy club and 2,000 capacity nightclub. The weekend, then, is about much more than the 52 laps of action during Sunday's race. And it should not be forgotten that putting together a stellar entertainment card comes at an eye-watering cost for Silverstone, who already pay PS $30 million per year to host the race. The British Grand Prix is one of only 2 races in the 2024 calendar that receives no government or public funding to help meet the cost of hosting. That bill is bound to land at someone's door. Perhaps the punters are hit a little hard, but few argue they're not getting bang for their buck. Sadly, there remains one thing money can't buy: some decent weather. It's the least the fans deserve.